Hello everyone and welcome back to Veluwe Zoo. And in the previous episode we started on this beautiful desert building and we put the gems box in here and they seem very happy with their new habitat. And I already moved all the desert exhibit animals towards this building. I know the rest is not completely finished yet, but we are probably gonna do that in the next episode because the lovely people from Frontier Games were so nice to provide me with a key for the South American pack. So I'm definitely gonna add one of the animals that is in the new pack, but first we have to manage our zoo. And I have some really big news to announce because for the people who have been following Veluwe Zoo, I have been struggling a lot and I finally did it. I increased the Puff Adder education rating to 18%. Yeah, we did it. Thank you very much. So before we can start on the South American pack habitat, we first have to do some research. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do the South American theme research first before we start on that one. So I still have this 2 saltwater crocodile challenge, but these guys are still not old enough. He's almost 10 years old, but he's not old enough to go out in the wild. So while we're doing some research, I can finally finish up this little habitat. I forgot to add some donation boxes, so I still have to do that. So let's do that one first. Let's change the colors a bit for this region. Kind of yellow and like brownish. That looks quite okay. Let's put a few in. Oh, I love how the sound changes when you're building something indoor. Let's put a few here as well. And over here, of course, you have to keep thinking about our money, so we need to have enough donation boxes. Alright, all good. So let's do some education as well. I'm gonna use this same thing again, of course, because I really like those. So let's put one here and change it. Very good. Copy this entire group and move it down here. Let's put a few of them here as well. Alright, all good. One of my ATMs broke down, so let's get a mechanic here. So I finally finished all the research, so I've researched all the diseases possible. So hopefully that will help with managing the zoo. And my gems box is about to inbreed. But how is that possible? I just bought these. Brother and sister. Are they family? That's weird. Alright, so apparently we have a very dirty, and you can already see it, habitat. So I'm gonna make sure there's a keeper here. And I also need a mechanic here. So that will be fixed soon. And we almost did it. We almost did it. Almost a million. Oh, that's forward. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, we did it. Very good. This is a episode full of goals being reached. Wonderful. So we have another challenge. Earn a yearly donation profit of a lot of money. Yeah, I think we can do that. Let's see in the next episode if we reach that one. So these shops are still very busy, and as you know, I moved all these animals to another building. So in this episode, I would like to ask you what you would like to see inside this building. So would you like to see a new food court, or maybe I want to add all the frogs in the game or in this building? So yeah, please let me know down in the comments what you want to see, and we're gonna fix that in the next episode. So the first bit of the research is finished, so now we can finally start on the South American themed habitat. And yeah, let's switch to the time-lapse right now. And for this build, I really wanted to use the new bamboo pieces. As you probably know, I also made a new episode of Monkey Island where I used the new temple walls. And yeah, I basically didn't use these bamboo pieces at all. So I really wanted to try to use them for this episode. So I have to admit, I was struggling a bit to get some inspiration for this one. And basically this building is highly inspired by one of the images that Planet Zoo posted. So this is basically the standard bamboo building you would see, but I really wanted to do or see how easy these bamboo pieces or how easy you can use them. And so I'm just starting with these pitched roofs and then some bamboo structures. I'm using the recolorable versions of it. so I can just create the color I want. When I used these ropes, I found out that the color was a little bit too dark, so you can't really see the ropes anymore. So I changed the color a bit. I have to admit, I'm a big fan of these rope pieces. They really make it look realistic, and yeah, that it's actually built like this. So I'm really happy with these pieces. So I just created the structure, and actually I was really happy with how the inside was looking of this building. So I'm just creating the structure so it looks a little bit more realistic, and then I'm starting on the other side of the building. Yeah, you can actually see that I'm struggling a bit, not sure what I want to do with it. I wanted to create like 2 different viewing areas. So one side will be the giant anteater, which we are adding in this episode, and the next episode I really have no clue yet what I want to add. I only have one idea for the capuchin monkey to add to Veluwe Zoo, but that will be in a different area. So I want to finish up the desert building first before I do that one. So we have the llama and we have the jaguar left. So it's probably going to be the llama that will be on the other side. But again, I'm not sure yet. And I'm actually not sure if I will finish this build in the next episode. I might continue on the desert building because that's also not finished, and I really want to finish that one. I have a little bit more inspiration for these buildings, so I might wait for this one, but yeah, we will see. I just finished up the building itself. I'm putting the new path in, and this path has this wonderful rope railing, which really looks wonderful and is perfect for these kind of buildings. I will remove the path later because you can't adjust the terrain while you have the path in, so I can't really adjust the terrain which is underneath. I hope they will fix that in the in any next update, but there were already a lot of fixes with the path, which you may already have seen. You can now create a stair that is only 1, 2 or 3 meters long, and you can really do whatever you want with that. I always used a shop to do something like that, so yeah, that's a really good update. Yeah, there's a lot of fixes, so the animals feeding system is changed a bit, and yeah, it's just a lot better. I'm playing on medium right now because that one is they told me that it's like the difficulty that the game was set on already. So I just want to continue like that. I don't want to bother you with like replacing enrichment items and stuff like that, so I still have to take a look at that, but we will probably just continue in a medium mode, which is probably the most realistic to continue the zoo like this. So I'm creating this rock structure underneath the building, and then I'm starting on the terrain work. So this will be the entire habitat. You might have seen a glimpse of the rest of the park. I changed something. I'm not sure if you know it, but I created a lake in between the jungle and the North American part, but I changed that a bit to make it match with the Veluwe itself. But you will see it in the cinematics in the end of the video as well. Yeah, again, I'm using the temple pieces. I'm a big fan of these. It's so easy to create something that looks good with these pieces. So I'm just creating the barrier of the habitat on this side with these pieces, and this will also be the shelter space for the animals. And yeah, I really wanted to look at again like a ruin or something that was there for like hundreds of years. Of course, in the Netherlands we didn't have these kind of walls or temples or something like that, so of course it's man-made, but I still wanted to get that feeling, because I do feel these pieces were made to do this. Right now you can already see that I was struggling a bit, that I had no clue what I was going to do, so I finally decided that I want some water on this side to separate the animals. And I was hoping that it would function as a barrier as well, but it doesn't, because these giant anteaters can swim. You will see it in the end of the video. I have to fix that for a bit. decorating the roof a little bit, and then I'm finally starting on that shelter space. So again, these temple wall pieces, this is basically the same thing, or not exactly the same thing as I did for the capuchin monkeys in Monkey Island, but I'm trying to create a more a rock structure on top of it to give the animals a little bit more shelter. In the end, this shelter space is not sufficient for the two animals. Again, I was hoping they would fix that, but yeah, it looks like a lot of shelter space, but apparently it's not enough. So we might have to change that a little bit. So I'm covering the entire thing up with the rocks, and yeah, just playing around with the terrain work to make everything blend in nicely with the rest of the park. And then of course a lot of rocks. I did try the new mossy rocks or the dynamic rocks, but I felt that I couldn't blend them in as I wanted. You can use them perfectly in the tropical areas, but yeah, you can really see they are not made to use in these kind of regions. I really tried, and then I tried to blend it in with the terrain, but it looked weird. You will have these enormous green rocks in between normal rocks, and I don't know, it looked weird, so I didn't want to use them like that. So I'm changing the North American part a little bit right now. I wanted to connect these or this habitat with the staff building that was in the reindeer habitat. Basically, I was hoping that the update would fix that. I didn't need to put all the staff building right next to the habitats, because right now the keepers and the mechanics, I think as well, are running towards the habitat. So I'm really hoping that would fix that. I didn't take a look at the negative impact yet, but they also fixed that. So I might be able to change the flamingo building a little bit with that. But yeah, we will have to see what we come up with when we are doing that. So I'm starting on the foliage inside this habitat. I really like the new trees that are in the new DLC, because they really make everything look tropical and junglish. So I'm putting a little bit more rocks in, and then I'm starting on the terrain work as well. Again, I really like the rocky terrain work around the rocks itself, and you couldn't do that with the dynamic or mossy rocks. Even the grass looks weird to use. So yeah, these are plants that we are used to, and then I'm putting in all the flowers that came with the new DLC, and they really make it look tropical, and they really make the entire habitat alive somehow. So these new trees around it, you will still have the empty space on this other side of the habitat, of course, but yeah, we will fix that in a next episode of Veluwe Zoo, of course. Again, I'm using these I think they're called apple trees. I'm always putting them inside the rocks to make everything look nice and like bushy, and so you will have plants all around. I'm done with the terrain work, so I can finally put the path back in, and then I'm starting on the detailing of the building a little bit. You can see, like in this video, I come back to this building like 2, 3 or 4, probably like 4 times. In the end, I will do some final detailing on it as well, some extra ropes, some extra structures on it, because I really didn't know what to do with this building yet. But in the end, I have to admit, it looks good, and I'm really happy with the final result of this habitat. So some detailing on the path. So I will only do this side, of course, and the other side will come in a next episode. I really like these purple flowers. They create a really nice color all around the habitat. So again, some bushes, some rocks, and that makes everything look better. So I'm checking the shelter and the transversable area. I was hoping that when I removed that one rock that they could move around a little bit better, but unfortunately that was not the case. So I have to come up with something. I think right now it's only like 50% that was covered for the shelter space. So yeah, we have to fix that. So right now there are some issues that the animals can't really drink from these natural things. So we have to put in, I already did that during the early access, but I needed to put in all these tap things so they can actually drink. And then there's another thing I can't really say they fixed, or they changed that in the new update, that you can't adjust the terrain work within the null barriers anymore. You could just see that happening. So you have to remove the barriers first, then do the terrain work, and then you can put the barriers back in. I'm finally creating something new for some educational stands, some bamboo structures to fit in a little bit better with this building. I already put in like these metal structures, but it looked a little bit weird. So basically, this is actually the next day that I'm coming back to this building and doing some final detailing on that one. I will do the education, and I will put some extra bamboo structures in on the bottom to make it a little bit more realistic, and so when there's some wind, that the building won't collapse or something like that. So with that, we almost reached the end of the video. Of course, there will be some cinematics as well in the end. I will put a time up right now when the cinematics will be, so you will see the entire habitat. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button, and if you didn't do it already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any new content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!